Over the last year, I've been looking at ways to bring in more revenue into my gym, which doesn't involve memberships. Now, the problem with memberships is that you can scale to a certain amount, and then when you get to a certain amount, there is the question of overcrowding, or the problem of overcrowding, and that then reduces the gym's experience for the members who are there, and it can cause issues. And then you see this a lot with big commercial gyms. They basically just sell and sell and sell their memberships until they can't, well, they can continue to sell more, but the experience of the user is that they can't get on anything, it's overcrowded, it's a really bad time for them, and they end up leaving, and there's bad reviews. So although I'm always selling memberships at Ministry of Fitness, I want to make sure that there's other sources of revenue coming in which don't rely on me just selling more memberships. And this is something I call secondary spend. Now, normally this is going to be things like protein shakes, sunbeds, pre-workout drinks, protein bars, all that sort of stuff. But I've been looking at other ways to bring in more revenue, and how I do that is through partnerships. Partnerships can be really advantageous and profitable for gyms. And partnerships work by leveraging three different things. You've got the people who you're going to sell it to, the place where or how you're going to deliver it to them, and then you've got the product, actually what you're going to sell to people. Now, partnerships with gyms, we have the people because we've got the audience that people can sell to. Sometimes we have the place because you'll get people in to do an event or something like that. But the benefit of partnering with somebody else is that they bring the product in, and they deal with all the money, they deal with all the hassle of getting the product to the person. All you provide is the customer base for people to sell to, and the place for them to do it. And recently I partnered with a company called Youth Revisited, who do blood tests for people who train at gyms. And the premise of this is very simple. We've got the people, as in the members here. We've got the place because they can come in and do the blood testing on the premises. What we don't have is the product, and that's what this company brings in. And the big advantage for me and other gyms is that we don't have to handle any of the money. We don't have to do any of the bookings. We don't have to provide the people to do the blood testing. That's all taken care of. What I get as a gym is an affiliate bonus. From anybody who's spent money, we get a commission off that. And the purpose of this video is to show you how I sold out all the blood testing appointments, how I advertised it, how I made people aware of it, and how I directed people in order to go and pay and sign up. Now, to do this, I worked with Youth Revisited for a couple of months in order to look at how they currently marketed, their systems they had for setting up and following up, and how they advertised their product. And we made a few tweaks to make it a bit more streamlined and a bit more easy to understand and easy to sell. And that's what I'm going to talk about on this video, what we did to make that happen. The first thing we did was to show that the gym was in partnership. The problem you get a lot of the time when you get people in to do these events at your gym is that you'll get people setting up a stall there, they'll put their own marketing up and everything else, and it looks like someone has just come into your gym and set up a stall, and people don't really want to engage with it because it's new, they don't trust it, they don't know who those people are. They're like, it's like when you walk into a car sales room and the guy goes, "Oh, do you want some help?" You go, "Oh, no, I'm just looking." You're not really sure what it's about, and you're not really sure if you can trust these people or not. The first major thing we did was to make sure the branding for the blood testing included the gym's branding. And I worked with Youth Revisited to help them generate a landing page which had all the branding and the things in the right place, and that had our own unique link on. It was done in the gym's colors, it had pictures of the gym in the background, so people, when they went to look at it, already knew about the gym, they're already familiar with the gym, so the images and the branding was already something they would already trust. Creating that very special partnership vibe rather than we're getting a company in to do this and just, deal with them. That was a big plus for us. So whenever we have a repeated blood testing event, all I have to do is direct people back to that link, and it works the same every single time. And now that's what they do for all the gyms they work with. Every gym was going to have a branded page which people can go to, and it's going to make signups a lot easier. Once we had the way to sell the blood testing, the next thing to do was advertise it. And I did this in a couple of stages. Now, this was the first time I did this, and we've got other things planned for next time to make it a little bit more streamlined. But here's the basics of what we did. The first thing I did as the gym owner, and someone people trust and know and like, hopefully, at my gym, I did a reel basically talking about the benefits of having your blood tested, why it was important, what you would get from it, and then specifically saying that we had partnered with this company for them to come in and test the members. So how we delivered it to the members was that this was going to be a service we're putting on for you to be your benefit, not, oh, we're going to get some blood testing people in and then be totally separate from it. Right from the start, the members were aware that this was something that we'd asked them to come in, we'd brought it in for their benefit, and they should definitely do it. And the reel wasn't special with graphics or anything else. I literally just got my phone, talked to it, and then once I had the video I needed, I went and just edited it in my Descript app and then add the captions, and that was it. The other really important thing here is that when people watch these videos or see your posts, it's very important to have a call to action at the end. Rather than just saying about something's going to happen, I made sure at the end, I said, and if you want the details, just comment bloods and I'll send you the link. And then what I did was set up a little automation inside an app, which basically integrates with Instagram and Facebook. And you can set it so that if someone comments a certain word or a specific word on your content, it will then send them an automatic DM with the link. So that saves you a whole lot of hassle of having to reply to every comment. And it means that when someone does comment and they're already motivated, they get the link straight away and they can sign up straight away. There's no waiting for you to finish your daily PT or accounts or whatever and go and check your messages. It's all done for you. The next thing I did was to write an email which was personalized to me out to all the members, again telling them the benefits of the blood testing and why it's important and why I think it's important. And in that email it had the link, and I've put a link for the details of that email in the comments below, which you can go and get if you want. And it also has the details of all the other things I talk about in this video as well, so you can set it up for yourself. The next thing I did was to create a static post, which I then posted on the Instagram and Facebook of the gym with basically the landing page of the blood testing so people could see what it was and what it was about. And that went on and had the same comment bloods to get the link. And from those three things alone, we sold out the blood testing event in about 2 or 3 days. And as a result of that, we generated around about £500-600 worth of commission from the sales of those products. And the only thing we had to do was to provide a private room in the gym where people could go and get their bloods done. The advantage of doing this was that we had a few members who felt a bit lightheaded after the blood testing, so there was a place for them to sit down. And also people, when they go to get their bloods done, generally want to have an area where no one's looking at them. They don't want to be the act that everyone's watching as they're coming into the gym. So it's really important you can have some sort of private room. We just basically moved all the bikes back in the spin studio and made a table and chairs up for that. And that was a very simple formula. And what we're going to be doing for the future is we're going to have a pop-up banner, which we did design for this event, but we couldn't get it in time, so it never got around to being put up. And we're also going to get some posters, which you put up around the gym in advance this time. We only had about 2 weeks to plan out for this thing, so we didn't have time to get all that stuff done. But even in those 2 weeks, we managed to sell out. There's a few reasons why I think this was so successful and it sold out within the first few days. The first is that I, as the gym owner, was involved right from the start with the process. I didn't have to do loads and loads of marketing or push the thing or really go into any deep detail about the blood testing with anybody. I just had to do the reels to make sure I inform people about this was happening, why it's important, why they should get it done, and then give them the means to book. Having me as the front person rather than just putting a poster up about blood testing meant that right from the start, people know, liked and trust the person who is delivering the message to them. And that's really, really important. You don't have to know loads about blood testing in order to do this. And I think some gym owners do think they have to know loads about the product in order to sell it properly. You don't have to. I don't know a whole lot about blood testing. I've had my bloods done in the past, but I don't know a whole lot about it. If anybody had any very technical questions about it, I said, if you go and look to the website, all the information's there. You just have to be the person who they can come to and ask those initial questions, direct them to the right place. And the second reason was that it was convenient. It was in the gym. They didn't have to do anything. If you've ever had your bloods tested, you know that you've got to pay online for the package. The package comes to you. You've got to then go and get your bloods drawn by someone if you haven't got someone who can do it for you. You've got to pay for that, and then you've got to send that back, and then you get the results back. For us, it was very convenient. People just had to come to the gym, get their bloods drawn, and pay the money, and that was it. We did all the legwork for them, so it was really, really convenient. It was a come in, train, get your bloods done, go situation. There was zero hassle from that end, and that's the really important thing about having it in the gym. Because a lot of people who came for the blood testing had had their bloods done before. They'd gone to one of the online companies, done it, and the overwhelming thing they said was, that's just hassle. It's a real hassle for them to post it off and everything else. One guy who came for the blood testing has had the package through and hadn't done it yet because he couldn't find someone to take the bloods. The convenience factor, never underestimate that. The massive convenience of just coming to your gym, getting the bloods done, and then going is a huge plus for you. And that's what you need to emphasize in the marketing, that it's really low hassle. They don't have to do anything apart from sit there and get their bloods done. And the third reason, okay, is probably a little bit of a novelty for some people. They'd never had their bloods done before, and so they were intrigued as to what it was about. And so it was the first time we'd run it. And in order to make sure this novelty factor doesn't wear off, we're only going to do the blood testing every 2 or 3 months at my gym. You can do it however long you want at your gym. There might be high demand, but my way of thinking of this is we sold out this time. We can continue to keep that. It's a sellout process. You've got to sign up early if we run it every 2 to 3 months. If we were to run it every month, what you would then get very quickly is that, oh, I've missed this one, I'll go for the next one. And then people know that there's another one coming next month, so they don't really get excited about it, or there's no urgency about it. From my perspective, if I keep it every 2 to 3 months, then we're definitely guaranteed a sellout, and we're definitely going to keep that hype of, this is a very exclusive thing and it's not happening all the time. But that's up to you how you want to decide to do it in your gym if you do this. So that's how I sold out my blood testing event at my gym. And a few tips for you there if you want to do the same thing at yours. I'll put the link for Youth Revisited on this video so you can contact them yourself and get it set up at your gym. And I'll also put a link to all the things I've discussed. That will all go in the comments below so you can do it at your gym. And I hope you get some good affiliate bonus for it. And Youth Revisited are a great company. It's worth partnering with them. They're very good at what they do. And it takes a lot of the hassle away from you of setting this up and doing it yourself. All you have to do is provide a room for them and then give them your details so they can create your landing page. Very, very simple. Okay, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.